Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Intuitive Energy Forecast for April 4th, 2022. I'm Arlene Grace, an intuitive energy coach, master numerologist, and channel. There's a lot of energy flowing through today. So today's energy is that of the 5 and the 4 of spades. And so the 5 energy is really coming into this. Today, it feels like freedom through wisdom, freedom through an understanding and an awareness, and this beautiful opportunity to come into and land into higher perception, higher perspectives, a deeper knowing of self. And there's also this energy of play and this energy of connection. There can be emotions that rise up today. And you may even see life through the lens of relationship, where the relationship of the narcissist and the empath. And I say that because the dynamic between a narcissist and an empath is one that belongs together. Because in that relationship, one must learn from the other. And that learning is power. What does power mean for me? Is power this relationship, this dynamic where I am taking from another, where I am expressing and projecting anger or an emotion to make one act and behave in one way, and where this one person is just thereby taking this energy because they're not in a place where they're willing to act on behalf of themselves within their own power, to release this idea of codependence, that I take power from you and you take power from me. And these narcissistic relationships can be anywhere. They can be in work, they can be in romantic partnerships, they can be in family dynamics, mother, son, daughter, father, whatever, right? Brother, sister. And the 4 of spades is really asking and inviting us to take the lead, within our own lives, to know that we are the creator of our own experiences, and to anchor and to land into this higher perception of ourselves, right? To let go of these invisible contracts that we might have signed out of our own awareness. And those invisible contracts would be, how girls or boys are supposed to act, how men and women are supposed to relate, how we are to ascribe to this idea of success, how we are meant to work in a place until we retire so that we can then live, how we must attain all of the things in order to be perceived as more than, how we are to dress in certain ways, have the latest things, have the name brand things so that we could be cool. All of the things that we have really accepted to be true, or accepted as these invisible contracts that are really being pulled from under us, right? Imagine this veil being lifted. And so I was calling in the energy of the 4 of spades last night, and I was asking for this activation so that I could know, was it that I'm speaking to today? And I do that every night. And last night, it was interesting because my night was full of dreams. And it was interesting because the one dream took me to my last workplace, my corporate job. And many of you know that I've spoken to this, where I left there because I was being sexually harassed, right? Again, speaking to narcissism and empath, right? And it was interesting because it was just player after player after player showing up. And so this one person would show up and I would just be looking at them and just be observing them in the workplace. And then another person would come and I would be observing her in the workplace. And then the third person came. And again, I was observing them and I'm thinking, what am I doing? Why am I here? And why am I observing them? And it was really this beautiful opportunity to see the wisdom that they were giving me, to see the gifts that were available. And the one D, I was just observing him and I was watching him. And, I was playing this, I was toggling in this place of, oh man, they betrayed me. They were my friends. And I was so sad when they turned their backs on me. I was so sad when there was no loyalty there. I was so sad. And yet I understood why they did what they did, because they had to choose themselves first. Right. And so I remember in the dream that I was moving through those emotions, the sadness and the despair and the feeling betrayed and separated, the feeling of not belonging there, the feeling of not being saved, this idea that I was supposed to be saved and I wasn't. And this one person that I was observing, D, like amazing man. And I was watching him, and the wisdom, the gift that I received from him was, you must break through. You must break through this pattern. And if you don't break through it, it just cycles back and you do it again. And I could see in my life where that pattern had just run its course over and over and over and over again. It just got louder and louder and louder. And then the one woman who I absolutely adored and loved, I was observing her, and the gift that I received from her was, you must express yourself. You must say what it is that you want, that you need. You must speak up, right? You must take up space. Take up space. And if there are some people that don't like you, that's okay. Not everyone's going to love you. Take it up anyway. Express yourself anyway. Be you anyway. And then the last person that came, now he and I were not fans of each other. We were not fans, right? We tried. And I was observing him, and the gift that he gave me was, will you see the truth of you? Will you ask yourself the hard questions? Will you actually face yourself in the mirror? And will you choose you? Because that's important. Will you be your own leader? No one's coming to save you today, honey. And wow, right? Because we can get caught up in this place of wanting to be in this drama triangle, wanting to be in this place of, I'm going to blame them. They didn't save me. I was playing the victim, and yet I was rescuing myself. And then I was playing the bully. All of them played these roles, and we played them so beautifully. But when I pull back from all of that, all three of them were me. They were me. I was playing them. We were each other, right? And that was my gift. And it was coming into that higher perspective and coming into gratitude for them, back to love with them, and not necessarily love where I'm going to call them up or text them and say, hey, let's go out for coffee. No. But I let them off the hook even more, right? The enmeshment has now been severed, which now thereby leaves me off the hook and leaves me at a choice point where I can go and I can connect. Should I choose? Not feeling the inspiration. And yet I can leave them be to walk off on their own journey, just watching them go in love, right? And so this is the thing, because we have these ideas, we have these written invisible contracts that stop us from living the life that we want, that stop us from creating the life that we desire. And the thing is that we only have this one life, that we're not here with a preview. There is no preview of this life, that there is no practice run, right? That this is our life now. This is our life now. And are you willing to take the lead in your life? And are you willing to unsubscribe from these ideas and these contracts that we have taken from others, that we have taken from culture, that we have taken from society, from healthcare, from how business is run, from banking, from money, from all of the things, right? What do you want to believe? Are you going to believe what you only see to be true? Because sometimes they don't match. I was talking to a friend last night, and we were talking about my grandmother. Friday was the 1-year anniversary of her death. And we were talking about cigarettes, and we were talking about drugs, and we were talking about alcohol. And so somehow we got into this topic of smoking. And he's like, smoking's really bad for you. It kills you. It's this, it's that, it's the other. And I was like, we can choose to believe that. And I choose to believe that my body is extraordinary, that my body can heal itself, that my body can rejuvenate, that I can be forever young. And I choose to feel that in my body. And as I was talking about my grandmother, my grandmother lived to 98, and she smoked a lot. And she even smoked her cigarettes backwards, where the flame, the burner or whatever, was in her mouth, under her tongue. That's how she smoked her cigarettes. I don't know how, and yet that's how she did it. And that's how she had always done it from when I had met her as a small child. And she didn't die from cancer. She didn't die from anything that was attached to smoking. There were people, there were commercials, there were family members that said, hey, don't smoke, you can get cancer. Hey, don't do this because you can get that. Hey, you should stop that. That's not good. And she chose not to believe that. She chose to do whatever she wanted to do. She chose her and her own beliefs and the way that she wanted to walk in the direction of smoking the cigarettes and how she was going to do it. And it's funny because I told him that, and he's like, oh, she must have had a healthy lifestyle. Nope. Oh, well, she must have been, this. No. She just chose to believe what she believed. And she chose to listen to herself, no one else. And I love what he said, because I didn't make this realization. He's like, wow, you take after your grandmother. And I sat with that. Right. It was a long journey. It wasn't easy. And yet I continue to move forward, choosing me. I continue to move forward, loving me more and more every day. I continue to move forward, unsubscribing to all of these other ideas that don't necessarily match who I am. And so your invitation today is to choose you, to lead your life, to be aware of these. Where am I unsubscribing? Where am I ready to let go of an idea that doesn't necessarily suit me? Where am I willing to play with the 99.99999% of possibilities? Because I'm going to choose to play with the stacked odds, even if I can't see them. Beautiful. Questions, comments, please feel free to share, and I will be happy to respond. Sending you all so much love, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.